the reality is that this was not a landslide victory. However, that does not mean that he will not govern as though it was a landslide victory, right? And there are some who are like, well, then watch out for 2026 or 2028 because you think you have a mandate, but really you don't. And it's kind of like, okay, but in the next in the next 2 years, I think we can expect him to say, like, I did win, and I popular vote, commanding victory, all of this. To your point about, like, okay, on the one hand, yes, I think it's good that Democrats and liberals and et cetera will not spend their time sort of chasing ghosts and will deal with the world of the real. On the other hand, I think part of the reason that they will not be doing that is that Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts. He was found liable for sexual abuse. Like, he's been found guilty of things. It happened, and he was still reelected. Now, maybe you can say if Merrick Garland and Jack Smith and the Department of Justice had not waited until the 11th hour of Biden's term to do their investigation, the sort of Jan 6 investigation, that would be a different story. But I do think that it's, perhaps there will be less looking for gotcha moments because he was got and is now going back to the White House. And I guess I feel I'm of two minds on this, because on the one hand, like, yeah, you're right. We do need to think of accountability in the broader sense. But on the other hand, if you commit heinous crimes and are found guilty for them and then are reelected, and the person who is investigating you is like, oh, I'll just wrap this up so you can be president again, which is what Jack Smith is doing apparently. Is that rule of law? Like that, and to some extent, let's be honest with ourselves, the president always has less accountability than the average American, right? Like, I can't drone somebody abroad. That's not legal, but the president does. But there's just a degree of, I guess I feel like something's been lost here, particularly because the Supreme Court ruled that everything he does is an official act, which I think we'll see come to rear its head.